How's it going, guys? My name is Vishwas and welcome back to the Pulsar Cafe Racer build series. Welcome to episode 4 of the series, where, as promised in the last episode, we are going to be tackling the front of the bike and working towards getting rid of this monstrosity of a look and getting it looking much better, much like what I want the bike to look like. Give it the Cafe Racer stamp, because this is very far from it. As part of the look, we are going to be changing 3 key components of the front, which are going to give it the proper Cafe Racer stance we are looking for, the proper Cafe Racer look. And those 3 components are going to be 1, the handlebars, the headlight, and the mudguards. So let's get started. Now, the first thing of the 3 components we are going to be tackling is the handlebars. If you know anything about the Pulsar chassis, these are not the handlebars which come on the bike stock. These are aftermarket handlebars which actually came with the bike, and it's actually good for us, because what we actually need to achieve that front look which we are going for is clip-on style handlebars. Now, these aren't the handlebars which actually came stock on the bike. These are actually handlebars which are lower than the stock handlebars, but still they are not low enough to our standards. They are not as low as our standards. So what we are going to be doing is taking these off and turning them into clip-on style handlebars, which suit much better to the look which we are going for. So since these are 3 pieces, we are going to be taking these pieces off, getting rid of this middle piece. We are going to have to machine the insides of these outer pieces, getting rid of this middle piece. And by machining these pieces, we are going to be able to get them to fit up on our forks as clip-on style handlebars, because again, these are almost half-ass clip-on handlebar style mounts. So first we are going to get these off, and that is what you are going to see in the next clip. As you guys saw, we were successful in taking off the front handlebar. It did give us a little bit of fight, but here we are. This is what I meant by a 3-piece design. So now we have to get these pieces bored out to the correct diameter so that they fit up onto our forks, and for that we'll have to go to the machine shop. Now again, out of these 3 pieces, we need these 2. We don't need this, so it can go in the junk pile. These 2, those are important. So let's get to the machine shop. And just like that, we are back from the machine shop, and we got these pieces ready to go on to our forks. So without further ado, let's put them on to those forks. So there we have it, folks. The clip-ons are on the forks, and they single-handedly transformed the entire look of the front of the bike, from being up there looking high and dingy to being down low looking mean and absolutely fantastic. You can see it just completely changes the entire look and stance of the bike. Now previously the handlebars were up there, now they are down low, so it actually improves the stance and the rider position. And now, although they might look uneven, they are pretty much close and even and down on a lower angle. So that's part 1 of 3 completed of the front look. Now heading towards the mudguard. So what you can see me do right here is we are getting ready to jack up the front of the bike so that we can easily remove the accessories which are towards the front of the bike, mainly the wheel and the brake system, so that we can easily access the mudguard. The initial plan was to remove the mudguard and then cut it on the workbench as to shape, but the bolts which were holding in the mudguard were really jammed in there after years and years of just staying there. So what you see me do here is try and grind down the backside of the bolts and shock them enough to set them loose, but even that wasn't enough, and the bolts just wouldn't come out. So we had to make some change of plans, and I just decided to cut the mudguard right on the bike itself. Why I did not want to do this in the first place was the cutting wheel could damage the shock absorber, and even though it wouldn't affect it much, but that was a concern in mind. But I think even this turned out much better than what I actually anticipated it to be. So here's what it looks like at the end. So just like that, there we have it. The mudguard is also sorted. It's now been shortened. Now it doesn't look as ugly as it did before. Now you can see first it used to extend up way past here, and even in the backside it used to extend way below. Now again, this is not the final form. This is just a temporary solution until I can get something custom made for this to proper fit the look. But again, I think that is going to be in the phase 2 of the build, which will be revealed soon. But for now, for the temporary purposes, this will do. This will suffice. Now that that's out of the way, the next thing we can move on to is the most important thing of the entire Cafe Racer look, is the front headlight. Now there's nothing here what came on the bike. I'm sorry, actually nothing came on the bike, but way before I actually even had this bike, I've had this headlight laying around for quite some time. Now this headlight is off of an Yamaha RX100. These are just some cheap turn signals I had gotten way back when I actually got this headlight. So since this is the perfect size of the headlight I want for the look of this bike, for now we will be running this stock headlight for phase 1, and then in phase 2 we might actually go to something much more modern, some LED or something. But until then we have to figure a way out to get this mounted up here. So let's do that. So what's going on here is I am completely into the zone, and I have completely forgotten that I have set up a camera here and I'm working way over there near the workbench. What I am working on is the mounts which are actually going to mount to the headlight, and which will in turn mount the headlight to the forks and later be welded on.
initially during the fit up of the headlights, I discovered that the casing of the headlight was actually interfering with the lower mount of the forks. So what you see me do here is cutting clearances into the casing, into the plastic casing, so that it wouldn't hit there. Again, the interference wasn't much, but it was just enough that it wouldn't allow the headlight to sit flush and where I actually wanted the headlight to sit. So that is what I was doing here, and after that, after testing it, the clearances were just perfect.
So there we have it, folks. The front of the bike is completely assembled for and ready for stage 1. Now, I say assembled and not finished because again the front headlight mounts are not yet completely welded in. Those were the tubes which we installed when we were installing our clip-on handlebars. So this was the simplest and most effective and most good-looking solution I could figure out for the headlight mounts. As you can see, these plates will be welded onto this tube again during the second round of welding, which I hope happens soon, because apart from that there's nothing much left to do other than making the body panels and all the stuff. So now I think you can better understand and visualize what I meant by the proper Cafe Racer stands. As you can see, the bike is on its wheels, not on the main stand. Now it's low, and let me show you the rider stance I was actually talking about. I'm sitting on a wooden board just for temporary demonstration purposes, but again, now you can see that this is the stance we were going for from the beginning. Now if we were to use the old handle setup, it would come up right here. Again, it would be low, but not low enough for our standards. Low bars, high standards. So now again, it gives us that mean look, the mean Cafe Racer stance. And again, when our foot pegs are in, our feet are going to rest in this vicinity. So again, it will be much more comfortable to ride such a short bike. Again, if you see, the height of the bike is not that much, so we can use all the help we can get. Then again, the seats are, there is going to be a seat here, there is going to be a rear cowl. The seat is going to land up right at the level of the tank, and I think that will again enhance the stance and the rider seating position of the bike itself. So we have finished what we set out to do, and I think it's now time for the intro. The outro. So there we have it, folks. We have finished what we set out to do in the beginning of the episode. The front of the bike is completely assembled. I say assembled and not finished because again, well, it's not finished and blah 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 and all that jazz. So that is where we are going to call it for today's episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Drop a like if you like this video. Drop a dislike if you did not like this video for any reason. And let me know down in the comment section, because I would love some positive criticism, constructive criticism. So if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing if this is the sort of stuff you like watching. And I'll see you on the next one. Come on. And working on getting rid of this one. Shit, where are all these birds coming from now? and getting it looking more. Let me finish. Now that is where we like that. They are not as low as our standards.